Right now at 6, a local university hit with more cuts. The people losing their jobs and when.
And sentencing day, the ruling for a woman accused of driving through a Christmas display in Chippewa Falls.
We're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Ken Kozarowski.
And I'm Emily Brown. Well, another round of layoffs at Viterbo University. It's the second time this year.
So who's being let go and when? News 8 Now's Allison Ferget is live on campus with the details tonight. Allison.
Ken and Emily, Viterbo is cutting 13 positions. Students are sad to see the cuts, but they're trying to stay positive about their university's future.
It is definitely nerve-wracking and just kind of overall sad.
According to the university, 9 faculty positions and 4 staff positions will be eliminated over the next 6 months.
With the smaller class sizes, I've made connections with my professors, so it's definitely going to be sad not seeing them around.
University officials say the cuts are to, quote, better pair the size of the workforce with current enrollment. According to data on Viterbo's website, total undergraduate enrollment has seen a 25% decline in the last 5 years.
I work in the admissions office, and I've kind of heard that, this is a low year for our first-year students on campus. So we're definitely working really hard right now to recruit students.
In a statement to News 8 Now, Viterbo's president says it's a difficult time for higher education, and Viterbo University is not immune to these challenges. We are continuing to take the difficult but necessary steps to balance our budget and position the university for a successful future. In June, the university cut 25 positions because of a projected $5.5 million budget deficit. But university officials say they've reduced the anticipated deficit by 35% for the current fiscal year. Still, students are concerned.
I definitely am nervous for the university, hopefully just a bump in the road.
I do trust Viterbo to make the right call for our education.
Now, 4 of the affected positions will be done on Friday, December 6th. The others will have their last day with Viterbo on May 14th. Ken and Emily, back to you.
All right, thank you, Allison. And this is a developing story. We'll provide updates when they're available.
Well, local school districts are working together to battle food insecurity. Onalaska, Holmen, and La Crescent Hoka are partnering with DBS Group for Giving Tuesday. Here's how it works. All elementary schools in those districts hope to collect 250 donated food items. Then on December 3rd, DBS will donate $500 to every school who reaches that goal.
We feel really fortunate to live and work in this area, and we believe that one of the supporting local schools and our local students is one of the most impactful ways that we can give back to the community.
DBS Group is also doing a Level Up Learning Challenge with the La Crosse School District. They are committing $5,000 to go to La Crosse's underfunded school programs, and they hope other area businesses can raise a combined $5,000.
Well, 2 beautiful back-to-back fall days we had. Pretty on a nice streak so far. Is this going to continue throughout the week, Greg?
Well, temperature-wise, really, I think we're going to continue to see the mild temperatures today. Really typical temperatures. We had the stubborn low clouds that kind of hung around, kept the sunshine and a little bit of a breeze out of the southeast. So really, although it felt maybe a little bit more chillier than usual, these are actually where we should be for this time of year, minus the wind. So upper 40s, some mid 40s up to the north. Now, most of the cloud cover has kind of left, but there's still a little bit of cloud cover. I think clearing skies for most areas. That breeze will continue for La Crosse throughout the evening out of the southeast. Overall 41, so a little bit milder than we had yesterday evening, with the temperatures really into the 30s as we got closer to 11 p.m. A few degrees warmer for Eau Claire too. The clouds kind of have cleared out, but we will see a few clouds here and there. I think more clouds later in tonight, and that's really the story overnight. The temperatures will fall, but then kind of be steady late in the night as cloud cover increases with the next system. So more 30s, but still there could be some upper 20s in Sparta and Black River Falls. Although it says 32, they could, some of those areas, get into the upper 20s. Overall, there's your cloud cover. There's not much going on. You can see it right there during the day. It kind of felt up, but then kind of came away. Otherwise, the bigger story is a system to the west. That is our rainmaker for the Wednesday time frame. So we'll break down when to expect that rain on Wednesday, how long it'll last, how much we'll get, and whether these mild conditions will continue through next week and a bit later in the broadcast.
All right. Thanks, Greg. A Clark County deputy accused of child sex crimes has pleaded not guilty. 39-year-old Jeremy Chapman is facing 4 felonies, including child sexual exploitation. Prosecutors say Chapman blackmailed a 16-year-old girl into sending nude photos through social media last winter. Chapman remains out on bond.
The arraignment for 52-year-old Shane Helmbrecht is on hold. His lawyer is trying to appeal his latest competency hearing. Helmbrecht is accused of killing his neighbor Jen Ward in 2016. At the time, he allegedly told police that he heard voices telling him that his neighbors were eating babies. In September, an Eau Claire judge said Helmbrecht was fit to stand trial. Sentencing day for the Tennessee woman accused of driving through a Christmas display in Chippewa Falls. It happened last December. Police say 33-year-old Ebony Hudson drove through the holiday display in Irvine Park. She's been sentenced to 11 months in jail and ordered to pay $6,000 in damages.
The city of La Crosse took on pedestrian and bike safety this morning. The meeting was open to the public. The Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee discussed a few things, including an app that you can use to register your bike to help track if it's ever stolen.
But the committee can make strong recommendations, and hopefully those recommendations are listened to by the council, and they could take that recommendation and move it forward as a policy or funding opportunity.
Members also said that some pedestrian and road renovation projects are making some headway.
Oakleaf Clinics opening another urgent care. This one is on Eau Claire's south side. The clinic is open 7 days a week and hours vary. Officials say the new clinic will help fill the gap in healthcare services in the Chippewa Valley following the closure of HSHS and Prevea locations. Eau Claire emergency rooms have seen a spike in ER visits since then.
Well, some good news at the pump. Gas prices in Wisconsin are dropping. The average for a gallon of gas is $2.81. That's down 3 cents from last week. The national average at $3.03. The news comes as the holiday travel season gets closer.
Well, the Rotary Lights display at Riverside Park is coming together. Crews and volunteers are working on assembling the 30th annual lights display with candy canes, trees, and of course, lots of lights. There are new additions to the display this year, and they'll be lighting the tunnel under the La Crosse Center, and there's a new light up maze for visitors to go through.
This year is going to be kind of special because we're lighting the tunnel underneath the La Crosse Center, which will be one of our new displays, and have a new entrance down there, so it'll be kind of nice to be able to do that.
The opening ceremony and fireworks will be on November 29th. If you're interested in volunteering, check out rotarylights.org. We'll have that link on our digital platforms.
The Onalaska United Methodist Church hosted its monthly community dinner tonight. The church serves a meal on the second Tuesday of every month as part of their community outreach program. In-person and drive-through options were offered tonight between 5 and 6. If you're interested in volunteering, you can email youth@onalaska.mc.org. For details, we'll have a link on our digital platforms.
As the clock ticks down, lawmakers are back in action with a looming government shutdown on the horizon. President-elect Trump will be at the White House tomorrow. He will first meet with President Joe Biden. The two are expected to discuss the transition of power. Trump is also expected to visit Capitol Hill. It comes as the GOP gets close to naming a new leader to replace outgoing Senator Mitch McConnell.
The lawmakers return as the threat of a government shutdown approaches. The deadline for a temporary or permanent funding fix is December 20th. Many Republicans prefer for Mike Johnson to strike a spending deal with Democrats during the lame duck Congress, but plenty of conservatives are urging the GOP to punt everything until Trump has the reins in 2025. Pushing that funding fight to next year would put Trump in position to have far greater say, but it would risk a chaotic fight in Congress that could dominate the early days of Trump's second term.
A New York judge again delaying a decision on Donald Trump's hush money case. Judge Juan Merchan freezing the case until next Tuesday. The move coming after Trump's legal team wants the case dropped now that he's president-elect. Sentencing in the case is still set for November 26th.
Apple's newest feature.
The technology that could change the way we handle lost luggage.
We do have some rain coming in for Wednesday that could impact your evening commute and maybe overnight Wednesday. But the good news is it won't last long and the amounts will be light. We'll track out the rain, show you how much and what the temps look like all coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Apple has released a new feature to help people find lost luggage.
Yeah, users will be able to generate a link to an AirTag's location as part of the Share Item Location feature. They can then share that location link with third parties like airlines.
That could help people track their luggage while flying and find it if lost. It'll automatically expire either when the user is reunited with their AirTag or after 7 days. Never been in that scenario where I've faced
knock on wood.
Yeah, right?
I just bought travel insurance for the very first time yesterday.
Oh, man.
Shows you I'm getting older. I'm less of a risk taker now.
Yeah, you want the certainty.
Yes, exactly.
But yes, it's not something you want to go through in that scenario. So if it works, fantastic. In the meantime, kind of a quintessential November day in Wisconsin.
So nice today, Greg. Will this keep up?
Pretty much can't really beat these type of conditions here for middle of November. Minus the cloud cover and some of the wind, temperatures overall were pretty close to where we should be. And really temperatures overall for the next 7 days are going to remain kind of on the mild side. We do have increasing clouds late tonight. It'll be later. These are high clouds with the system coming. Still be some clear skies early on in tonight. Showers will be in the afternoon, kind of a hit and miss in the afternoon. And for the evening commute too, I think the wettest period will probably come towards after 7 p.m. to maybe about 1 a.m. time frame for areas, and we'll kind of spell that out here later. But overall, light rain amounts with this. It won't affect your Thursday morning commute. That should remain dry. Temperature-wise, not too much change from what we had today. These are the highs for tomorrow. Those showers will be late in the afternoon, so most of the day will be dry with that southeast wind continuing as the system comes in. A lot more clouds, though. Overcast skies probably towards the afternoon. You kind of spell that out. We'll wake up with a little bit of some high clouds here, and then this low-grade shades, more of that low clouds that we had today. That'll kind of remain overnight or even expand a little bit in the morning before this cloud cover from the system begins to approach. Morning commute remains dry. We'll start tracking that precipitation. It'll fall apart as it continues to track towards the area, but the noon you remain dry with that southeast wind. It's in the afternoon. Potentially after 3, some of the western areas west of the river will start seeing some showers make its way up. Maybe by 4, some of the areas towards La Crosse and Eau Claire may see a few showers, but it's a lot of hit and miss. The evening commute really kind of depends on where you are. Less activity go further north, more opportunity for showers to go further south because the low is going to kind of track right to our south. So when we get past 6, it's kind of when we're going to start seeing more activity really begin to expand south and east of La Crosse, and you'll start seeing that overall more of a steadier light rain potentially for northeast Iowa, then stretching over towards Prairie du Chien through 10 p.m. and that'll continue to 1 a.m. As the low begins to push east, we'll see this wraparound come around. That'll continue for some areas through about 1 to 2 in the morning. By the time we get to about 3 or 4, a lot of the activity begins to push east. There may be a few lingering showers for eastern areas as we go into Thursday morning, but I think most areas will remain dry for the morning commute with the cloud cover. We should see less clouds as we go in the afternoon for Thursday. However, still a lot of clouds will remain, and then dry conditions continue for Friday too, and even for the weekend too for the most part. Now rain amounts, not expecting a lot with this. Further north you go, probably less than maybe a tenth, you'll be lucky. Further south and east you go, a quarter. In some of the areas far south like Prairie du Chien eastward, and maybe Decorah in those areas too where they see that steadier rain tomorrow evening might get up to a ½ inch, but it'll be similar amounts to a lot of areas that saw it this past weekend. So rain, but nothing, but it could impact once again your evening activities. You got anything outside, you might see some light rain developing, especially further south. These are your highs for Thursday. A lot of cloud cover out there, but very similar temperatures that we saw on Wednesday. The winds will turn around to the north, but not expecting any gusty or strong winds. So all in all, pretty typical temperatures. We have another system for the weekend, but this one on the good news looks dry. Very limited moisture, but I think we will see a front eventually come through by the time we get to Sunday. So we'll see a wind change, but a lot more cloud cover Saturday, less probably on Sunday. If there is a rain or a shower, the best chance may be Saturday night. But even then, I think most areas will remain dry and mild. This is the other story for all the temperatures. A lot of 50s, upper 40s in some areas. Next week gets a little bit more interesting with a lot of scenarios playing out, whether we see rain, mild temps, even some snow you could throw in there. So it's a pretty complex system, but more on that. But otherwise, deal with some rain for tomorrow evening. Once again, light amounts too.
All right. Coming up next in sports, an important weekend ahead. Camp Randall and the Kohl Center will host top 10 matchups this weekend. Find out why the Badgers feel they'll be up for the task on the hardwood and gridiron. Jacob is next.
Covering all the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports with Jacob Lenzendorf.
It's been a rocky last couple of games for the Wisconsin football team. A very winnable game against Penn State, which fell apart in the second half, then a no-show against Iowa. But the Badgers hope to have hit the reset button as they get ready to welcome Oregon to town on Saturday night. It'll be the third time Wisconsin has faced a top 5 team at home this season. Still looking for that big upset, and it'll have to be a clean game in all phases for the Badgers as Oregon has yet to lose this year. But the UW players aren't making the game bigger than it usually is.
We've played Alabama, we've played Penn State, USC when they were ranked. So we're used to playing in big games, and I feel like that helps leading up into this one. But it's really just don't give any more credit than they already have. Obviously, they're a great football team. They're very talented. They're undefeated. But just the more you think about that and not your job, the worse it can be.
And to hear more from Austin and News 3000 Sports Director Zach Hanley, tune in to the Wisconsin Huddle Friday at 6:30 right here on News 8. The Badger basketball team is off to a 3-0 start to begin their 2024-25 campaign. And even though it's been a season full of slow starts in the first half of games, Wisconsin is finding ways to turn it up a notch after halftime. That might be tougher this coming Friday when the number 9 team in the country, Arizona, comes to town.
Coming off the week we had, I thought we got better as the week progressed. Still not where we need to be or will be, but now we've got a tremendous test coming at us on Friday.
This marks just the second time ever the Badgers have faced a top 10 team at home in November. Last season against Tennessee was the first. Tip-off scheduled for 8 p.m. on Friday. And in the pro ranks, the NBA Cup begins tonight. Group play opens with the Bucks hosting the Raptors. Milwaukee fell to Indiana in the semis of the in-season tournament last year. And the T-Wolves also in action tonight, taking on the Blazers. These teams playing just 4 days ago, and Minnesota won by 25. T-Wolves are off to a 6-4 start with the new look roster. And just a quick tidbit as well, Milwaukee news, William Contreras wins Silver Slugger as well for baseball. So nice. Good news for him there. But also some news up here. I don't know if it's good news for me, but we got the most recent
Not
standings.
good news for you.
So yeah, it's tough so far for me, but we're trying. Yeah. We're trying.
I'm coming off an 11 out of 14 weeks, so I'm creeping up. I'm coming for second place.
She's coming for my spot.
It's a lot of fun.
Kate's doing well, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and shout out to Todd Matheson of La Crosse, our winner of this last week.
Nice.
All right, we'll have another look at your forecast right after this.
All right, there's your rain chance. It's really going to be probably after about 3 to 4, and I think 7 to about midnight's the best chance. Further south you go, the better shot. You're going to get steadier rainfall. Otherwise, mild temperatures, and we do dry out for Thursday and Friday.
Not too shabby for the middle of November.
That it doesn't.
All right. Thanks for joining us tonight at 6.
We'll see you at 10.